Okay, I'm just going to squeeze in a little part 5 because there was something else I wanted to add to that. The thing is that when you get to be a certain age, it probably hits like when you're about in your 40s, maybe your 30s or 40s, and you begin to realize that you are above the age of a lot of people who are younger than you. You go through this thing, like when I was young, everybody was older than me. You get my illustrations? I'm young and I'm down here, and everybody else is older than me. And it kept going that way. My 20s, 25, 26. There was still a whole bunch of people who were older than me. People that you have to respect as your elders, and you slowly begin to see that there are people younger than you. And they begin to multiply and they begin to raise up the older you get. And then finally you get to your 50s. And you start seeing 60-year-olds dying off because people begin to die in their 50s and 60s, late 50s and 60s, and you're thinking, okay, you begin to think about your own death more. But you also begin to see that the younger people are coming up underneath you, and they all have to show you respect because you're older than them. And then when you get into your 60s and you see that 70 is only 10 years off, it does something to your mentality, because I remember being 50, and you look at people that are now 50 and you're thinking, I looked that good when I was 50. Now I'm 60. How do I look now that I'm 60? Do I look 60? Would somebody be able to guess my age? Maybe I don't want to look old. Maybe I want to look younger. Maybe I want these younger people to respect me because I'm obviously older than you. And the older you get, the closer you get to 70 and even 80, and you got all these young people. If there's one thing I cannot stand, I've never been able to stand this. Little kids who want to boss me around. I had that at one of my jobs. This stupid client with an only child, and her daughter would boss me around. And here she's right at 10, 11 years old, and she would get snippy with me at my job, and I had to just eat it. I wasn't allowed to say anything back because you can't do that in a professional situation. People who are younger than you, who try to correct you, who try to point out what you're not doing right. You're not doing it the way they think you should be doing it. They want to put you down because you are set in a certain frame of mind, comfort zone to protect yourself, because you're wise enough to see that there are entities flying past you. This is illustrative. There are these different businesses and I said entities, and there's these different online programs that are trying to take advantage of you to try to get to your money, and you've got to hold off and protect yourself and make sure that you haven't exposed any information online, accidentally plugged something in you didn't mean to that you can't reverse, because they're going to zap $100 out of your account that you didn't know what they were going to do that. And yet young people are going to look at you like you don't know what you're doing, when your reasoning is, I'm trying to protect myself. And then you get dogged for it. You get slammed for it. This is the kind of stuff, as you get older, young people don't get it, but they think they've got all the fucking answers, and they don't. I'm sure that my parents took my actions the same way. However, my parents also began to see that I could think for myself, and Mom couldn't baby me anymore. I'm going to have you know that my mother babied me. So that when I went to school in kindergarten, I didn't know our address. I didn't know our phone number. I didn't know things that I was supposed to have learned at home because my mother wasn't paying attention to my fucking education. She didn't care about my education. They never sat down one single time to help me with math, English, nothing. And yeah, I resent it. And now that I'm older and I can see the world for what it really is, and I've been around a few blocks. I have been around a few goddamn blocks. And I'm going to tell you, honey, a lot of times, and you're going to find this out, you younger family, you're going to find this out, that there are going to be people who are going to insult you and degrade you and hurt your feelings because they don't respect the fact that you are older. That is one thing. Just to respect the fact that somebody is older than you should be enough to help you to bite your tongue and to stand off. Because you're supposed to respect your elders. You got that, You got that, Janessa? You better get it.